Thanks for tuning in to the HR. Today I'm discussing which players I'm most excited to watch in the East. And the first stop is Boston. Well, looking at the Celtics, I think it's obvious that we're curious how the addition of Kristaps Porzingis will affect the team, especially after his best season in the NBA. Mark my words, the hype for this guy, it's going to increase being in a bigger market once again, especially after injuries and playing for a shitty Wizards team. But I'm actually looking forward to seeing what Derek White can do for them as a full-time starting point guard. Honestly, I cannot believe this guy is 29. It's only his 6th season in the league, and he's a great example for teams to see that drafting a 23-year-old rookie does not mean that they're done progressing. We saw that in his 4th season as a Spur, he was able to score 15 points per game, 3.5 assists, 3 rebounds, and then starting into his 5th season before being traded, his assists went up to 5.5 per game. His 3-point percentage increased to 38% on 5 attempts. And if you look back at his previous percentages, they really weren't that great. I'm excited to see what he will average now, having 3 elite scoring weapons around him. For the Nets, I have Cam Johnson. Yeah, I know the Ben Simmons rumors are back. He's healthy, he's motivated, and he might be, but until I see it, I'm not expecting anything. And that sucks to say because I was once a big fan of his, even without the jumper. But I have Cam here because I think we know what Mikal is going to bring. Cam being on the USA team with him as well, having a bigger role and paycheck for this Nets team is going to give him a lot more confidence. And this is a guy who already shot 43% from 3 in 2022. And last season, before being traded, was shooting 46% from 3. It went down to 37% after the trade, but this is to be expected given the keys and a new point guard in Dinwiddie and a different role. So I'm excited to see what he brings to the table this season because sometimes guys return from FIBA or Olympic basketball with way better seasons. With the Knicks, I'm kind of stuck between 2 young guards who seem to have promise before Brunson came on the scene and still played well. These 2 being Quentin Grimes and Emmanuel Quickley. Each have scored around 13 to 15 points per game. Quickley scores a little more, but Grimes has the higher effective field goal percentage. On the playmaking side, Grimes averages 2 assists and 1 turnover, while Quickley is averaging 3.5 assists and 1 turnover. Grimes started more this past season, but I think I have to go with Quickley here because of his playmaking, defense, which is still a game. But the Knicks are just lucky to have 2 young guards that score this well this early alongside of Jalen Brunson. For the 76ers this season, I'm focusing on Tyrese Maxey. Embiid finally won his MVP, and James Harden has again asked out for a trade. So who knows what kind of player he shows up as. What I do know is that Tyrese has that motor. This guy is one of the fastest players in the league, and put that alongside his scoring, he can do big things this year. This team is tough because they're always struggling with some sort of issue, whether it's injuries or drama. These Philly fans cannot catch a break, but they always have a lot of talent. So if you're a Philly fan, it's hard not to want to blow this up, and just let Tyrese Maxey have the keys, let him run the show. Personally, I'm ready for this next process. For the Raptors, I'm curious to see how Scottie will come along as a point forward, if that is what the direction they're going in. They picked up a scoring point guard in Schroeder and a lights out shooter in Grady Dick, so this progression should continue as a playmaker. Anyone with his size and frame is exciting to watch, especially given the potential. Not a big fan of many players on this team, and I expect them to make a trade or 2 this season, but Scottie's a guy to watch this year. In the Windy City, I have Kobe White. This guy was drafted into a weird position because they weren't going to tank and really just let him grow into his potential. You can see that his scoring went from 13 to 15 in his first 2 seasons, but last year was only at 9 points per game. But each year, he has gone up in percentages from 2, three, effective field goal percentage, and he's averaging 85% from the line in his career. So the guy is a great shooter. This is also a very fast player. He's just more of a pure scorer than a point guard. So if there are injuries or a trade, expect him to have a better season. If not, he's becoming a very effective role player. Cleveland, we know, is stacked. Garland at the 1, Mitchell at the 2, alongside the Twin Towers duo of Allen and Mobley. It's going to secure them many wins again. And now adding shooters like Max Strus, Danny Green, and they still have Karis LeVert, who can have his big games here and there. There's no reason Darius Garland doesn't average 10 assists per game and is an all-star once again. Now, I could be wrong because Donovan does get the ball a lot, but every time I'm watching the Cavs, Darius Garland is the player that catches my eye. He doesn't seem to make too many mistakes, and he has some big offensive nights when he's on fire. In a redraft, he's easily going to the Knicks at 3rd, and some can argue even being selected in the top 2 with Ja and Zion's reputation so far. Detroit, Motor City. This team finally has some motors. But for this team, I'm excited most for Ausar Thompson. Look, I know the hype. This kid has been projected alongside his brother to be something special with his God-given athleticism and playmaking. Watching him alongside Jaden Ivey and Jalen Duren in the Summer League completely shocked me. Coming from overtime elite and being presented as the worst of the two twins, this dude has that third eye that is perfect for a fast break, and just being that plug-in player in the half court alongside Jaden and Cade, he's going to fit perfectly at the 3, and I'm really excited to watch this team this season. For the Pacers, I'm really excited to see if Bruce Brown can bring it this year like he did in the NBA Finals, but I'm actually going to go with Halliburton here. Now, hear me out. Yeah, he is the star player, but now he's going to have to really prove himself as a leader. This guy coming from FIBA basketball, he's a great scorer, a fantastic facilitator, one of the best in the league already. But adding in Bruce Brown, Obi Toppin, Daniel Tice, Jarris Walker, you still have Benedict Mathurin, Nembhard, Jalen Smith, and Miles Turner. He now has a wide range of weapons, and I'm looking forward to how it's going to impact their season. For the Bucks, Giannis. I mean, this team just doesn't excite me as much. Giannis is 28, so he's in his prime age-wise. And I think this season, he has a lot to prove after losing in the playoffs. The players around him are aging, and he's going to have to backpack even more this season. To be honest, I'm not a fan of this Hawks roster, so outside of seeing what Kobe Buffkin can do for them as a rookie shooter, I guess I'm just curious which of the two Duke forwards will step up. Comment below if you were higher on Jalen Johnson or AJ Griffin. This will let me know if you're still listening, and if you are, thank you. If you are enjoying this video and want to see more NBA discussions, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel. I've been a longtime NBA fan and want to grow a community of likewise people. By commenting, liking, and subscribing, YouTube will push this out to more NBA fans like you. Now to the next team. The Hornets drafted the 2nd overall pick, Brandon Miller, and I'm really excited to see how this team can bounce back after an injury-riddled season. But my player here is going to be Miles Bridges. Now, forget the off-court stuff and look at what he did the season before last. He was averaging 20 points per game with 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and the team won 43 games that year. Him and LaMelo had great chemistry in the half court and in fast breaks. I mean, you saw all the highlights. They're insane together. This guy can play well above the rim and was projected to be an all-star this past year, going from 12 points per game to 20 points per game in season 4. Don't sleep on the Hornets. Now, down in Miami, if he's still on the team, Tyler Hero is someone I hope to come out and prove all the doubters wrong this season. I was never a huge fan or hater of Tyler. He's got a great scoring game, but I just want to see him step it up to another level, especially because Jimmy is going to coast throughout the season before bringing them back to the conference finals. Who knows, this kid could be out the door though. Same state in Orlando. If you are watching the Magic, you know they are set with their forwards and their bigs, but the guards position are now really crowded. With that, I'm going with Markelle Fultz. He's really stepped it up since going to the Magic. Yet they have guys in other positions that will be rewarded with larger contracts, and this team has 5 or more guys who could play point guard right now. Also, Joe Ingles is on the team, and Jonathan Isaac is expected to be ready for the start of the season. Honestly, I'm a big fan of their roster, great core of young players with a lot of potential. And last in the East, we have the Wizards. Jordan Poole is going to let it fly with Kuzma next year. No doubt. But I'm ready to see Tyus Jones, the backup point guard, run his own show. If things work out, this team will have the best odds to win the first pick. Thank you again for watching, and let me know in the comment section who you are most excited for in the East this year. I will be discussing who I'm looking forward to watching in the West next, so you'll want to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way we can continue this conversation over there.